Welcome back, fellow citizens of Jar, to Deron for Super President. This is the show in which we try to build our own country, take over the entire universe, and fix all of the universe's problems. If that sounds like something you think you might like, please hit the subscribe button down below to be counted as a citizen and to join us on our path to glory. Now you might be wondering, what glory is this? What do you get being a citizen of a country? What pride do we have going forward? Shut up, we'll get there. I decided, personally, to look at different ways countries take it national pride. And one that I thought was really interesting is that the 2020 Olympic Games will be held in 2021 because reasons, but in Tokyo next year. I figure if it's next year, what are the odds that we could possibly hop on this train, do a little Eddie the Eagle thing? Basically a story of a layperson going into the Olympics because not enough people entered. And then failing horribly, but saying they were an Olympian. Now, if you're wondering of the viability of this particular possibility for a little micronation, back pre-1996, the rules were amorphous jelly, things you could just sort of decide that you were going to join in the Olympic Games under whichever blah bit of territory you felt like. To this day, there are more nations competing in the Olympic Games, or allowed to compete in the Olympic Games, than there are actually officially recognized nations by the United Nations. Which I love. The problem is the International Olympic Committee's session, which is a weird name for a committee. They basically decided that you need an Olympic committee for your country to take part in the Olympics. And after 1996, they decided that you have to be officially recognized by the United Nations, which leads us back to our previous problems. I also really hate the way they word this on the Wikipedia, because they describe the session as the IOC's supreme organ and its decisions are final. I don't refer to anything as a supreme organ. Gross. Our hopes dashed. Our dreams dead and gone. Maybe within 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years we could take part in the Olympics, but not now. Wrong. You think there's only one Olympics? You think the world came together to agree that only one group would compete as a world? Ha! Lies! Instead, I went to the Micronation Wikipedia to see if I could find some other versions of Olympic Games, like the 2020 OIM Games, which had a total of 5 countries that were going to compete, that sadly the OIM itself disbanded, so it's kind of hard to play sports when no one shows up. There was also a place called the 2020 Micronation Olympic Games run by Lustus of 2020, and that got cancelled. My hopes nearly dashed. Decided to go scouring through every corner of this website to see what I could see, and boy did I hit the jackpot. The Micronation Olympic Federation. Ooh, sounds good off the tongue, doesn't it? It was founded back in January of 2018, and as of June 2020, they have 29 active members. Do they actually play games? They actually play games. We'll be going over the 2020 Micronation Olympic Federation's Micronation Olympic Games, I say, checking my notes, and what happened on this glorious day. Well, there was an opening ceremony complete with a torch, because you can't have sports without putting something on fire. Quote me on that. Based on the weather in this picture, and also based on the fact that the officially opened by is this name, I'm assuming that this was opened somewhere in Sweden. We have an entire account of what happened. A little snapshot of history of micronations coming together to compete. Now, the first event was tic-tac-toe. Something that you never wonder, is this super competitive? Well, put it on an Olympic stage and here we go. Coming in gold, we had Osvaldo Boudet, or Budet. I don't know how to say any of these names, forgive me in advance. Silver, Jen... I'm not gonna try to say these names anymore, I'm so sorry. And bronze, Nathan Smith. I can't say that one. So, from the most competitive games of tic-tac-toe, you've got 5 in a row. I know, it rhymes. And a completely different roster here. Nathan Smith coming back in second place, competitive in 2 different games. You might be wondering, how does he do that? When you have the ability to line things up in a row, you cross the T's, you dot the I's, you line the X's, and there you go. You're an Olympic Olympian. He's got a bronze, he's got a silver, and checkers 6x6, a silver again. Now you may notice none of the other names overlap. They have one human individual showcasing the major power within an organization to compete. And then in chess we have Jakub Svatek and Connor Stumper, Zoe Liu, and also the Reversi rosters. After that have poker, which we see the name Zoe Liu again, another person fighting for supremacy, another person showing that they care so much about these sports dear to their heart. They represent the country that they are proud of, and they fight. They fight for that country. Billiards had 2 people competing. Bronze was not awarded. However, I like to think that bronze was not awarded due to extreme drug allegations, and not due to the fact that only 2 people competed in it. We've been following a story in this pseudo-documentary. Nathan Smith coming back again in Battleships to take the gold. Now, he wasn't somebody who was simply destined to win. Nathan constantly fighting. Bronze, silver, silver, and here he came back to win the gold in Battleships, the art of war. Sun Tzu would be proud. None of this information is provided. I'm making it up based on a true story. Now, Agario had an Adam Pevitz take the top spot, but I really want to focus on someone in the Tetris round. You see, coming from bronze in chess, we had Zoe Liu. Silver in poker, being beaten by Jakob Kolbeck. Can you imagine the defeat? Playing in chess, coming in bronze, going to play poker only to see your nemesis again across the table, poker-faced, eyes of silver and gold, staring a dead cold stare, and in silver coming forward. Not to take the top spot, but to be given one last kiss of hope on the horizon. Tetris, where hope falls from the sky to be organized into rows, where you march forward to victory. And to march forward was what Zoe had in mind, granting the top spot in Tetris. Gold. The 2020 games, never to be the same. 3 amazing performers showing consistently across separate events the amazing athleticism, strategy, thought, forethought, post-thought, arranging things into rows, drawing lines like you've never seen in the sand before the lines disappear, like in Tetris. I should be a sports announcer for games that don't have sports announcers, huh? This is how many people competed in this bloodbath. It is overwhelming. And you may notice for Arberland, a total of 1 athlete. That's correct. It's Nathan Smith. I feel like we should make an entire documentary movie about this person. Imagine you're one person competing against this team. Imagine that for the next version of Air Bud. I don't know why it'd be Air Bud. Snow Dogs? Not Snow Dogs. I keep naming dog movies. Even Zoe pushing to fight for recognition was alongside powerful friends. Amazing ones such as Nathan could try so hard and get so far, but in the end it did matter. Because he took home medals for tiny little Arberland. Now, of all of these people and nations competing, you notice that yes, the big team took home the most. Yes, the team we followed with Zoe took home the second most. But in third place, there was a country with only 1 person competing. And that's powerful. That's like Chariots of Fire. I'm not going to play that song, but you can look up the end of... There was a movie where a dude ran and that song. If you know that song, I'm not singing anymore. YouTube's too good at noticing. So what will we do? Will we one day join on these Micronational Olympics? Perhaps we will. Now, we need to start coming together, finding athletes and competing in games ourselves. These tend to take place from what it looks like between February and March. So we've got a whole training montage of 6 to 8 months left before this game goes to town. I'm not saying we do need to do this, but boy, wouldn't the story be good. But if worst case comes to worst, we can always make our own jar games, and we can duke it out in our own bracket. So this has been your President of JAR, Deron, and Super Presidential Candidate, signing off for Saturday, saying welcome to JAR. JAR takes all kinds. You are family now. Please join us this week and every week. We go up every single Saturday, Monday, and we hang out. This week we'll be live streaming on Tuesday due to my work schedule. And I will leave you, as always, in the viewer-submitted language for JAR, the viewer-submitted motto for JAR, which is Mam Donapaman Lem. Mi-u Donapaman Ia Liita. Mi-u Mam Liita. We'll see you all on Monday. And this episode is brought to you by Luke and also by Rachel. If I could give anyone gold medals for friendship, you would both get gold. And I would spark a controversy for giving 2 different people gold and no one silver. How quaint. Oh, thank you.